Hey guys, welcome to Stacking the Shelves for it's either been 2 or 3 weeks preceding October 24th. I do have some books here to go through. I have not been getting as many books and I've been pretty busy, so I just haven't had time to do these posts. But I will go ahead and go through these. The first one I got was for a review, and that is Sing Me Forgotten by Jessica S. Olson. This does not come out until the beginning of March 2021, but it sounds really interesting. It's about a girl who's been kind of sequestered in an opera house because she can sing people's memories away from them, and people with those types of magic are not allowed to exist, and she's been hidden in this opera house. And it just sounded kind of like a very interesting premise for a book, so it is like a young adult fantasy. So I'm excited to read that. It has a very beautiful cover. I kind of like it, and hopefully that'll be a good read. All right, then I got 2 books through Kindle First or Amazon First Reads, I guess. And this is the program where if you have Amazon Prime, you get to pick up to 2 books from the Amazon First Reads list. And these are books that are they're pre-released, so they're not yet released, but Prime members get to pick 2 of them. So I don't always pick something from the Amazon First Reads, but there were actually 2 that really looked interesting to me this month, so I went ahead and picked them up. And the first one is Spellbreaker by Charlie M. Holmberg, and this is by the author that wrote The Paper Magician, which I don't think I ever actually read, but I always wanted to read it. So it sounds like it's a very Victorian London historical fantasy type of thing. There's magicians in here, and the women are trying to gain a foothold as magicians as far as I can remember from reading it. So again, it just sounded like kind of a fun novel that's right up my alley because I really do like these kind of historical Victorian fantasies. So yeah, hopefully that'll be a good read. Then the other one I got from Amazon First Reads is The Haunting of Bryn Wilder by Wendy Webb. And I remember Wendy Webb's name, but I don't know if I've ever actually read anything up. It sounds very familiar to me. But this one caught my attention because it's about a woman who's undergone a lot of trials. She ends up moving to this remote town on Lake Superior and is dealing with some hauntings there. We do a lot of camping and vacationing on Lake Superior. I really liked that area and region, so I thought it'd be kind of fun to read of a eerie, haunting ghost story that's set in that location. So that's the main reason I picked this one up. And again, of course, it was free for Amazon First Reads. So that's The Haunting of Bryn Wilder. And I always do check these out on Goodreads too, and both of these had pretty good reviews. So they should be pretty decent reads. All right. Then I did get 3 books through Kindle Unlimited. So I am still using my Kindle Unlimited membership because I am not going to the library right now. So I did get 3 books from there. And the first one I got is Ice and Embers by Melanie Karsak. And this is the second book in the steampunk fairy tales. The first one was Curiouser and Curiouser, which was an Alice in Wonderland retelling, and I really liked it. It was super fun to read. It's just a lot of action and a lot of good references to the classic literature, and it was a super fun read. This is Ice and Embers, which is a retelling of the Snow Queen. At the end of Curiouser and Curiouser, you get a little glimpse into the very beginning of the story. Alice sees stuff in a mirror that lets you know that this is going to be the next story. So I really do want to read this. I am reading these steampunk fairy tales now because I started reading Steampunk Red Riding Hood, which I really liked, but there were a lot of cross references in that first book back to earlier steampunk fairy tales. So I'm going back to read these just so I have the whole background for when I go back to continue to read the Steampunk Red Riding Hood stories. So yeah, very beautiful cover on that. And again, those are just really fun, action-packed, steampunk reads that I really enjoy. All right, so the next 2 I have are both Annette Marie books, and she did wrap up 2 of her series in October, into September, beginning of October. And the first one is Damned Souls in a Sangria, and this is the 8th and final book in the Guild Codex Spellbound series. So this wraps up the story of Tori and Ezra and all the mages in that guild. So I already read it. I read it pretty much right away. And it wasn't my favorite book in the series, but it did a good job of wrapping everything up. So I'm glad it was the last book in the series because the characters were starting to feel a little bit tired to me. So it does a very good job of wrapping everything up, has a nice epilogue that like ties up all the loose ends, and I enjoyed it. It felt a little predictable, but I enjoyed how it all ended up. So I would recommend it. Anna Marie does a great job writing very action-packed, lighthearted urban fantasy that I really enjoy. And so the third one I got from Kindle Unlimited was another Anna Marie book, and that is Delivering Evil for Experts. And this is the fourth and final book in the Guild Codex Demonized series, featuring Robin and Xylus. And this has quickly become like one of my favorite series. And I have not read this yet. It is the next book I'm going to read after I finish one of the review books I'm trying to get through. I just really, really love kind of the push and pull between this demon mage and the demon that she was accidentally bound to. Again, lots of action, great characters, very fast-paced novels. They're just a lot of fun, kind of a very guilty urban fantasy type of read, guilty pleasure urban fantasy type of read. Just lots of fun, always very engaging. I have trouble putting them down. I read them very quickly. So something nice and easy to read. So that is what I got over the last few weeks. And I'm like trying to figure out how many that was. So that was 3 for Kindle Unlimited, 2 for Amazon First Reads, and then a review book. So 6 books over the last like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah, I'm doing this post really early in the week. We were supposed to be camping on vacation this weekend, but we kind of decided at the last minute not to do that trip. We were going to go up to the North Shore again and try a new campground up there. We kind of had a lot of stuff happen. Like my son found out he had a hockey game scheduled, and then we were supposed to be at this required parents meeting for hockey as well. We also found out that it was going to snow, and the snow was probably going to stay around, and we're not super keen on driving the camper through snow. There was a possibility they were going to turn the water off at the campsite because it was going to be so cold. And so we finally just decided that we would stay home for our vacation and get some stuff done around the house and kind of have a staycation. So we have been like ordering dinner out every night and doing other things. Like yesterday we went to Fort Snelling State Park and did a walk out to Pike Island there. And of course, there's a lot of Pokemon Go events going on, so Community Day and all that this weekend. So we went ahead and did that. And then we met my parents down at the University of Minnesota and all wore our masks and did Community Day for Pokemon Go down there. So lots of Pokemon Go and hiking in the area, which is fine. It's nice to get out and do some different things. And it was good to see my parents. We haven't seen them for a while. We've all been having, like my son's back in school and he's doing hockey, so he's getting a lot of exposure to a lot of people. So we've been trying to be very careful when we're visiting some of my other family. So anyways, lots of fun. Yeah, I don't know, not a lot else going on, I guess. Just trying to make it through. Lots of questions coming up about holidays, like how are we going to do that? And I have a sister who lives in Chicago, and like, are they going to try to come up, or how are we going to like try to do a video Thanksgiving dinner? Like, how are we going to try to make all of this work? Because everybody's kind of having to, you be as careful as you can, but eventually you do have to get back to doing your life. So like my sister's kids are in daycare now because they're super young and they were having a really hard time both working their jobs and watching their kids at the same time. And my son is in hybrid. That's what the district is doing. So he's back in school 2 days a week and he really wants to do hockey. And unfortunately for him, if he wants to continue to play in high school, he needs to play this year. So it's kind of his thing. So we're letting him do it and trying to be as careful as we can. So there's only so much we can do, I guess. Anyways, that all being said, I hope you guys are having a good fall and enjoying the cooler weather. If you get cooler weather where you are, as I said, we are definitely getting cooler weather here. We actually had snow yesterday morning, and it did get up into the 40s, so the snow did not stick around, but we have snow. And it's chilly. You can tell I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I'm wearing a shirt under my sweatshirt. It's been in the 30s and 40s, and perfectly nice weather to walk around if you've got gloves and an appropriate jacket. So as I said, we walked around at the U of M campus doing community day earlier today for a few hours, and it was perfectly nice. But you can tell that winter is coming, and we are all a little bit worried about what's going to happen with like COVID levels in the area as we're forced to be inside more and more, because at a certain point, if it's like minus 20, minus 10, even 0 outside with a bad wind chill, like you just can't be outside that long. You just physically can't be outside that long. So it'll be interesting to see how things progress. All right. Way too much blabbing. I will talk to you guys probably next week. I don't know if I'm going to get a ton of books or not. Anyways, have a great week of reading. I hope you got some wonderful books, and I will hopefully talk to you next week if I get more books. If I don't, I'll skip a week and I'll talk to you the week after. All right. Talk to you guys later. Bye.